the capacity issue in the design of new facilities, and we also have management measures.
Government Bill, first reading. International Organizations, Privileges and Immunities Amendment Bill 2022. Second reading, Secretary for Justice. President, I move that the International Organizations, Privileges and Immunities Amendment Bill 2022 be read a second time. The purpose of the bill is to implement an arrangement between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that is the MFA, of the Central People's Government and the government of the Hong Kong SAR in relation to the establishment of the Preparatory Office of the International Organization for Mediation, that is IOMED Preparatory Office in the Hong Kong SAR. As such, we need to amend the International Organizations, Privileges and Immunities Ordinance, Chapter 558, in order to provide for the privileges and immunities in relation to the office under Hong Kong laws. With a view to strengthening the Hong Kong SAR, the Hong Kong SAR as an international legal and dispute resolution services center in the Asia-Pacific region under the National 14th Five-Year Plan and the GBA Development Plan. The MFA and the Department of Justice, that is the DOJ, have been discussing the possibility of establishing a new international intergovernmental organization in Hong Kong. For this purpose, the country has been negotiating with a number of interested states on the establishment of the International Organization for Mediation, that is IOMED, in the past 5 years and has signed with various foreign states a joint statement on the future establishment of the IOMED. The IOMED will be an international intergovernmental organization established through consultations among all parties. It will provide friendly, flexible, economical, and efficient mediation services for international disputes. It will be a useful supplement to the existing dispute resolution institutions and means of dispute resolution, providing a new platform for the peaceful settlement of international disputes. Taking into account the experience of establishing the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank in Beijing, it is planned that the IOMED Preparatory Office should first be established to take forward the relevant work, with a view to transforming it into the Secretariat and headquarters of the IOMED after the conclusion of the negotiation of the IOMED Convention. According to the joint statement, the IOMED Preparatory Office will be set up in the Hong Kong SAR. It is expected that from year 2023, the IOMED Preparatory Office will commence and organize the negotiation of the IOMED Convention and the preparatory work relating to the establishment of the office. In order to give effect to the joint statement, the MFA has prepared the arrangements on the establishment of the International Organization for Mediation Preparatory Office in Hong Kong. That is the arrangement, which contains provisions relating to the status of the IOMED Preparatory Office and the privileges and immunities of the IOMED Preparatory Office, its personnel and representatives attending negotiation of the IOMED Convention. With the authorization from the Chief Executive of the Hong Kong SAR, I, in the capacity as the Secretary for Justice, have signed the arrangement on behalf of the Hong Kong government with the MFA in October this year. In order to implement the arrangements, the relevant provisions of the arrangements need to be given legal effect under Hong Kong laws. The International Organizations, Privileges and Immunities Ordinance needs to be amended by the bill in order to provide that the privileges and immunities of bodies concerned in the establishment of international organizations and of persons connected with such bodies under arrangements between MFA and the Hong Kong SAR government may be implemented in Hong Kong. The IOMED Preparatory Office will be deemed as such a body concerned in the establishment of international organizations. The main provision of the bill concerns amendments to Section 3 of the Ordinance, which provides for a mechanism to implement in Hong Kong privileges and immunities of international organizations and of persons connected with those organizations through giving legal effect to the provisions of an international agreement. Clause 4 of the bill amends Section 3 of the Ordinance so that, in addition to the above, privileges and immunities of bodies concerned in the establishment of international organizations and of persons connected with those bodies may be implemented in Hong Kong through giving legal effect to the provisions of an arrangement between the MFA and the Hong Kong SAR government. Subject to the passage of the bill, after it comes into effect, an order is to be made by the Chief Executive in Council under Section 3 of the amended ordinance for implementing the arrangement so that the IOMED Preparatory Office can commence actual operation in early 2023 as planned. I so submit. I implore members to support the bill. Thank you, President. I now propose the question to you that the aforesaid bill be read the second time. In accordance with the rules of procedure, the second reading debate is adjourned and the bill is referred to the House Committee.
政府議案
Government motion. Proposed resolution under the Energy